So of course, we all know about playoff Jimmy. We're already starting to see that again as Jimmy dropped 38 points in the Warriors win versus the Memphis Grizzlies. But let me tell you about someone called Playoff Tyler, because yesterday, Tyler Herro matched Jimmy Butler's 38 points and did it on 68% shooting, where he truly looked absolutely unstoppable. Now, we were very hype about that yesterday in my postgame video. I made some jokes saying that Jimmy Butler was holding Herro back this whole time, which I was obviously kidding. I know some people believe me, but although he's not Jimmy Butler, Tyler Herro very clearly was great yesterday, and I kind of want to break down why he was so successful in the first game of a postseason that is really critical for Tyler Herro. Obviously, he's due for an extension come October, and all these people are saying that Tyler Herro proved the haters wrong after one game, which, yeah, Herro was great yesterday. He's having a great season, but I want to see him continue to be that impactful on a consistent basis, and particularly in the postseason. If the Heat make the Hawks and advance in the first round, we'll see what happens. But to kind of break down why Tyler Herro was so great yesterday, I want to react to another Brady Hawk thread, who of course does a great job on Twitter, but we can provide some further analysis in these videos. So let's get into the first tweet. So in this first...
Wait a damn minute. Let me check something real quick. What does this say? 52% of y'all are not subscribed right now? Yeah, I'm going to need y'all to fix that for me. Hit that button real quick. Hit it. All right, there you go. Now let's get back into the video.
First video, Brady talks about the downhill attacking of Tyler Herro because we saw him get to the rim a ton yesterday. I think Tyler Herro's ability to finish in the paint is one of his biggest improvements that we've seen this season. So looking at this play here, I kind of want to start from the jump to note the spacing. Obviously, you have Alec Burks in the corner, who has been starting for a reason because he is so elite at spacing the floor in the corner that it really opens up the offense for everyone else. We, of course, saw that a lot when PJ Tucker was back with the Heat, and it really cannot be understated how important it is to have a lethal corner shooter. Now, Andrew Wiggins is in the other corner, who has really been hitting his three ball since joining the Miami Heat, particularly in those corners as well. And I think that will continue to be a huge part of the offense, especially since we know Wiggins is so great with the ball. But if he's also impactful like this off of the ball by having Josh Giddey needing to be attached to his hip to provide all this space in the paint for Tyler Herro, that's also very, very important when you're talking about the chemistry of this team. So from the jump here, you see it looks like the Heat are going to do a two-man action with Ware coming to set the screen and Bam Adebayo maybe coming to set a second screen. But Tyler Herro is going to see Kevin Herter come so far up away from the paint. That's an easy crossover from Tyler Herro, who's kind of able to get into the paint and does a nice adjustment to finish. What I want to note here is kind of how he does the change of pace on this quick step right here. That's how he's able to blow past Herter initially. And one of the things that I talk a lot about in these film analysis videos is you don't always need to be the fastest player to get into the paint. You just have to learn how to change pace to keep the defense off balance. And that's what Herro does here. So he's kind of slowly walking up the court, but as soon as he notices Herter turn his head right up here to see if the screen's coming, you could see him glance a little bit. Tyler Herro is going to cross and attack immediately. Then they're going to switch with Buzelis, and Herro does a great job to gather here. And note how he jumps off his right foot and finishes on the right side of the rim. That is something that's very difficult because typically when you shoot on the right side of the rim, you're supposed to jump off the left foot. That's just how you stayed more balanced. But because Modest did a great job here recovering, Herro had to adjust on the fly and was still able to hang into the air here to finish. That's a very tough finish from Tyler Herro. And once again, you see the spacing with Wiggins out here, Burks here, Khalil Ware is now a spacer at the top of the floor. Bam Adebayo kind of came a little far in. You could see here how he's kind of bringing Vucevic into the paint a little bit, but Vucevic can't fully commit either because Bam Adebayo is so dominant in this mid-range that if he was to help, maybe Herro can do a dump-off pass to an open Bam. So Vucevic is kind of in no man's land, and that's why Herro has the wide-open layup on the right side. But this is just a beautiful, strong, aggressive take from Tyler. And this next play is another strong, aggressive take from Tyler that actually forced the Bulls to call the first time out of the game, which is very important when you're talking about setting the tone, especially in an elimination game. And what I want to note here is Andrew Wiggins catches the ball in the post here. And in the last clip, we were just talking about how good as an isolation scorer Andrew Wiggins also is. So he sees the match on Kobe White that he likes. He is able to attack that. Kevin Herter knows this, so he comes to double. even though Tyler Herro's at the top of the three-point line. Herro is not the guy that you want to double off of because he's such an elite shooter. But because Herro's also using his IQ at a different level of late, he sees the slower Vucevic running out. So instead of Tyler Herro settling for a deep three-pointer here, he's just going to run Vucevic off the line and get right to the rim. That's just such a great play from Tyler Herro. When you talk about a week ago, remember when Herro got the steal versus the Bulls and pulled a transition three? He settled instead of taking it to the rim. This time it was the complete opposite because he could have easily shot this ball right here, but he knows Vucevic is not going to be able to backpedal fast enough. And part of the reason the paint is so open is because Khalil Ware is moving great without the ball. Look at Herro right here. Tyler's going to get the ball. Ware sees that he has a point guard on him and Josh Giddey. So here Ware is going to kind of seal him to try to get position. But once Ware sees that Herro's driving, Ware backs out of the way and seals Giddey from getting to the rim. So there's no rim deterrence there for Tyler Herro at all. What Khalil Ware did on this play can also not be understated, and he continues just to make these small plays that go under the radar, which is why Eric Spoelstra starting to trust him, but another great play. And in this next clip, Brady talks about how Herro has been very good at controlling the pace of the game, not only with his 10 free throw attempts, which we need to give Herro for also, but also because he's able to make plays in the half court, like you see right here with this tough finish from pretty far outside the paint. What's going to happen is Bam Adebayo is going to set a screen right here, and because Herro is such a lethal shooter, Herter has to fight over the screen. He can't go under. And since he's going over the screen, he's already in an awkward position to kind of try to recover. Herro notices that, so he's going to slow down a little bit, which will actually allows him to seal Herter on his hip. And he sees Vucevic standing in the paint. So what does Herro do? He takes off from the dotted line. And he's able to do just this tough finish. Just his actual finishing at the rim has also been improved. Not just him getting there, but his finishing, because this is tough. He gathers basically right outside the paint, and by the time he releases the ball, he's at the dotted line. He sees Herter on his hip, keeps the ball outstretched in his right hands, and that's just another great finish from Tyler Herro. And then, as Brady points out in this next tweet, once you really start attacking the rim, that opens up your three-ball game that we know Tyler Herro wants to go to, where in this first clip, it's really just a tough shot with Dalen Terry guarding him, but the shot clock is winding down. Herro has to force it up, and he loves going to that left side step back, as we're going to see a couple times here. But on this first play, he kind of just caught a grenade and had to shoot it. You don't want these shots often, but it's inevitable that it'll happen throughout the course of a 48-minute game. And having a guy like Tyler Herro who is capable of getting a decent look off with these grenades, as they like to call it, that is pretty important too. But these next couple of clips are actually pretty nice. You're going to see in this first one here, Tyler Herro is going to swing it to Kyle Anderson. And now Kevin Herter is playing a bit off of Tyler Herro because he knows Herro has been attacking the rim all day. He's kind of giving him some cushion so Tyler Herro can't blow past Herter super easily. But what that's going to do is when Anderson gives it back to Herro here, look at all this space between Herter and Herro. Herter's now going to have to sprint out, so Tyler Herro fakes like he's going to drive, makes Herter off balance again, and that gives him all the space in the world on this step back where Herter, there's like, what, 6-7 feet of separation here. That's way too much airspace for Tyler Herro, who's going to knock into it and absolutely swish it. Similar play this time where Bam's going to do the dribble handoff for Herter. And just like in the last video, Herter has to fight over the Bam screen that you see right here, which puts him in an awkward position to recover. So now when Herro is pretending to drive, just like he has been all game, Herter has to do a strong cut inside, which means when Herro steps back right here, again, all the space in the world. There's a solid 7-8 feet there that just allows Herro to rise up. We'll play it in live motion here with Herro coming off the curl. Kevin Herter way out of position now, and Tyler Herro has all the space. And don't forget that he's still one of the best shooters in Heat history, so that allows him to make plays like this. And when he gets going, it's a fun thing to watch. And now we have a few clips here of Tyler Herro's patented floater, where he just has such great touch going inside. And what you're going to see on most of these clips here is, once again, the defense is running out on him. Josh Giddey's completely off balance, so Herro is not going to settle like we've seen him do so many times this year. What he did in this game is he attacks, he gets right into that paint, and look at the spacing again. Bam Adebayo's wide open in the corner. If Herro doesn't have the lane inside, you have Khalil Ware in the dunker spot ready for the lob. You have spacing up top with Wiggins and Alec Burks, and that's why Herro has so much space to attack in here, because the defense sort of has to pick their poison, and what they end up doing is guarding nobody. Almost everybody is open here as Herro gets the open floater. Now, what he will continue to work on in his game is kind of keeping the defense honest with regards to whether it's going to be a lob or a floater. That's something that Trae Young is elite at, because eventually the defense is going to cut off this floater, but that's when he throw the lob to Khalil Ware right there, who's sitting in the dunker spot. Similar play here with Herro coming off a curl. Kevin Herter is on his hip again. Story of the game, Herro's going to drive into the paint, seal him with his back, just like we've seen all game. This is another thing that Trae Young is good at. When you beat your defender, if you can seal them, slow down, seal them, and then accelerate, it gives you even more space than if you just continue going the first time, because then the defender can sort of use their momentum to catch up to you. But right here, when Herro seals, Kevin Herter has to stop. He has to be flat-footed, which allows Herro to then accelerate and get all this space here in the paint. And once again, he can do the floater, or he can lob it to Bam Adebayo. He has the space for the floater. Very similar thing this next possession. Herro gets the ball, does not set out the three-point line, is going to beat Josh Giddey off the dribble, has Khalil Ware in the dunker spot, or has the floater. He takes the floater again, and these type of plays will really open up the Heat offense. And this last clip might have been my favorite Herro play of the night, as he's going to go isolation and take Herter right to the rim as the shot clock's winding down in the fourth quarter. What you're going to see here is Herro basically catching another grenade with about, 5-6 seconds on the shot clock. You're going to see the entire Heat offense space out to the left side of the court to give Tyler Herro that mismatch on Kevin Herter. And what we've seen from Herro so many times in this spot is settling for a step back three. At this point right here, when I was watching the game, I thought he was going to snatch back right here, do that little James Harden travel-esque step back and settle for a three, but he takes Herter right to the rim with a beautiful cross, seals him on his back again, and then uses the backboard to finish, because as my guy Tony Fiorentino would say, the backboard has the most give, and especially when you're going baseline, if you're able to get back to that backboard, it just makes your chances of finishing that much more tough, and shows a little bit of athleticism too, with the two-hand finish there. I like that from Tyler Herro, but just look at him absolutely able to break down his defender. And these are the plays that we talk about when we say Herro is a 3-level scorer or has that potential. We know he's an elite three-point shooter. We've seen him get to that mid-range a ton in the clutch or even on that floater, but it's plays like this that have allowed him to get to the rim so much this year and against the Chicago Bulls. But that's all I got to say for this video, so let me know y'all thoughts down below on Tyler Herro. One of the things that I really don't like about the discourse surrounding him, though, is whenever he has a good game, you have all the stands on Twitter adding all the haters saying, oh, see, I told you so. And then the next game, Herro will be bad. And then all the haters go back and forth with all the stands. And I understand that's just the culture of social media nowadays. But to me, the problem shows itself in which Tyler Herro has been inconsistent if you're constantly able to go back and forth with these good and bad games. But what I want to see is him continue to do this in the postseason, and I think we might. Obviously, this has been the best year of Tyler Herro's career where he has been the most healthy, and he's kind of been the most consistent outside of like that weird month and a half after the All-Star break where he couldn't make a shot. To his credit, he did recover from it. And then in the biggest game of the season, win or go home in the playing game versus the Bulls, he probably had his best game of the season. And to that, I give Tyler Herro credit. He is matched up in the next game versus the Atlanta Hawks and Dyson Daniels, who Herro also cooked a few weeks ago as well. So if he's able to do that again, I'll be excited seeing this Heat team go into the playoffs. I really will. And then maybe they could give the Cavs a run for their money. But that being said, make sure y'all like the video and subscribe because all the support is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, everyone.
Look, pull up in your city trying to get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.